Hi, fashion dolls. Welcome to the dollhouse. I am your hostess, Miss Stevie, and this is Style by Stevie. Joining me today, our very special guest is a sexy, handsome actor. Nguyen will be joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about his acting career and so much more. I hope you guys are doing excellent. I have been taking a few days off to basically focus on getting my mental health and my mind right. It feels amazing to be back with you guys. Welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. I'm your beautiful hostess, Miss Stevie. And today we're going to be interviewing actor Nguyen. So let me go ahead and share this live to him. I hope you guys are all doing wonderful. We had a guest yesterday that was supposed to be on with us, but we have some amazing things coming up this season. So you guys just have to make sure that you're staying tuned. Today's outfit is from Fashion Nova. It's that sexy black cat suit. Y'all make sure y'all go and check a look at that picture I just posted. Because y'all know Miss Stevie's got curves for days. So definitely go and check it out. The handbag is from Victoria's Secret. Y'all know I love me some Fashion Nova. Hey, V Brown Actor Singer, make sure you guys go and follow V Brown Actor Singer and check out his hit single Somebody Else. I'm going to share this with we so that we can get this interview started, ladies and gentlemen. Valentine's Day. February is going to be a very sexy month. So that's all I'm going to say. We have some treats and things planned for next month. So y'all just got to stay tuned. I don't like to pull all of my secrets out, but we got some things coming for next month. So, and I think it's Black History Month too, so you guys definitely stay tuned for that. Let me share this with we so that we can get right into this interview. But other than that, I hope you guys have been doing well. This cold has been something else. That's why I'm all zipped up today. Normally, y'all would see me pop on a cold shoulder 1-2, but I said not today. I can't do it. It is too cold to be showing all of that much skin. And our very special guest is here, ladies and gentlemen. Nguyen. So let me add him in. Make sure that he's in. Mm-mm. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Hi, Steve.
Dollhouse.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing? It is
Excellent.
such a pleasure to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you as well. I am so excited to spend the day with you, just chatting and
Yes, we're gonna have some fun today.
yeah, you look great.
Thank you. You do too.
Uh,
It is such a pleasure to finally meet you. You look so handsome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this interview. But before we get into this interview, how was your New Year's? How's New Year's been for you thus far? We're now in 2022. And is there anything that you
it's
manifested
been
coming into this
amazing.
year?
Yeah, things are great, and then I'm like making exciting new changes in my life, and it's a chance to start anew. And during the holidays, I got to spend time with my family, and I hadn't seen them in about 2 years due to the pandemic. And it was very, very hard. So that was my first time seeing my brothers and my mom and my dad in such a long time. So it was wonderful.
And it's great to reconnect. I know it's definitely difficult being away from your family and things. And I know a lot of the audience members y'all can relate to, that separation anxiety of being away from your family and not being able to see
Yeah,
them, like how we're doing this interview today virtually. So how have you been
yeah.
managing with that thus far? With doing things, virtually.
Oh my gosh. So the first 6 months of the pandemic, yeah, everything, it was just exciting to be connecting with people again, like with table reads or virtual plays or even Zoom family calls. That was nice, but then there's that interpersonal connection that you're missing, and once I hit that 6 month point, I'm like, okay, I miss hugs and I miss giving people kisses and I miss eating and laughing together in the same room. And finally, I started doing going to process for some plays and some artistic performance projects recently, and it's been such a lifesaver, honestly, to be able to be in the room with other artists again. So I'm very fortunate that that's starting to come back, even with the Omicron, taking over right now. But
Yes.
yeah,
And I know that is definitely difficult for a lot of people as well too.
yeah,
So make sure that you guys are please make sure that you guys are staying safe. Make sure that
yeah.
you guys are keeping warm. I'm in South Carolina down here, so it's freezing. We're near Myrtle Beach, so you guys already know it's gonna be cold down here with us being near the water and everything.
Right,
So
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm in Chicago right now, and the cold in Chicago is just like a whole other level. It's insane. So
Did you guys get any snow?
yeah, it's just a little bit that's sticking. So
Okay, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this interview. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get your start into acting?
I started as a wee boy. No, I'm kidding. In high school, I joined the choir because I didn't know what choir was. Accidentally, I needed an elective. I'm like, okay, this looks choir. That must be, I don't know what it is, but I'll find out. So it was concert choir. So I just started singing, and I just loved it. Love singing with other people in front of groups for audiences. Um, and then some of the other kids in the choir, they were doing acting stuff in addition. So I signed up for the drama club and started doing plays and things like that. And I just fell in love with it. It wasn't something that my parents got me into when I was younger. When I was a little kid, it wasn't. I didn't have that type of upbringing. My parents are from Vietnam. They were refugees. And for us, the first, I don't know, 15 years of my family's life in America was just survival. Just like trying to learn a whole other society and language and trying to figure out where we fit in America. Because literally my parents came here with nothing. We see stories about Syrian refugees and stuff today, but 30, 40 years ago, that was like my community, the Vietnamese community that came here, and we had nothing. And now we're just thriving. So
Has it been difficult with transitioning, with growing up, learning a new culture, being introduced to the United
well,
States and everything, getting
well
into acting?
yeah. For me, I was born here. My parents arrived like 4 months before I was born. So for me, this has always been my culture, but it has always been kind of like straddling too. I consider myself American, but also as a lot of other American kids did, right? My parents needed someone else who could maybe translate, not just language, but like societal values and stuff like that. Translate between what they knew coming from Vietnam and what is true in America. And so that was kind of a big part of my thing, was the translation of that between my parents' society and my I have three younger brothers, or two younger brothers now, that I kind of helped raise a little bit. And so my upbringing is a little bit different than a lot of American kids. Of course, the dream for a lot of immigrant parents is always doctor or lawyer or something like that. And I kind of did that. I worked in business and finance for a few years, and a few years ago I just found my way back into acting because that's what I really loved, and I feel like the world needed more of that. So here I am. I'm just a full-time artist and in performance and acting and all sorts of things.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So fast forward, coming to the United States, prepping and training for acting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into some of your roles and your accolades. Better Call Saul in 2015. You did Ordinary Joe, which is in 2021, and you did Chicago Med.
Yeah.
So what was it like your first time being on set, coming over to the United States, gearing yourself and preparing yourself to get into acting and do things? You're on set now with all these other stars, and the directors, the producers and writers, everything is there. What is it like for you? What's running through your mind?
It's such an exciting place to be on set, but then I always translate in my brain, because I do a lot of theater. It's all about collaboration and being in love with the story and telling the story, and that's what my draw to it is. A lot of other people that they want to work with certain people. I just want to be able to connect with other people in the scene, or the text from the script, and just try to find the humanity in that. And I get to do a lot of that here in Chicago, and it's very rewarding. Fortunately, I've been able to work with some pretty like big renowned names, and it's been amazing. I mean, and from the beginning artist, beginning actor, all the way up to the seasoned veteran, I find the process is very similar. As long as you can drop that facade or that oh, I'm meeting my hero, that feeling of meeting your hero, if you can drop that and just connect with the person who's in front of you, then all of the rest of it just takes care of itself. And and that's someone, working with someone who's had maybe one acting class all the way to someone who's got a big Hollywood career. It's always the same. It's always, and that's what really just surprises me and fascinates me about the 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 artistic aspect of acting. You're just two human beings, and you've got a script, and you just kind of make it as real as possible. So that's what I love about it. I love it.
So my next question for you is, if you could collaborate or work with any actors, who would your dream collaboration be? Who would you like to work with in the future?
I love working with all actors, but dream ones. Right now I'm at a point in my career where I just want to work with more Asian and Asian American actors and telling those stories in the way that only we can tell it. You know what I mean? There are adaptations out there with Asian actors or an Asian crew, but unless it's majority Asian or BIPOC or something like that, it's hard to tell the same story in the way I want to tell it. I'm kind of at the point where I don't want to be tokenized anymore. I just want to celebrate myself and my culture and work together with other artists who have that same feeling. So that's my.
Hey, Tony. Tony's also an actor as well too. Welcome.
Tony,
We're here with we. Yes, and I love what you just said, and I think it was someone, she played on the show Glee. She said something about that as well too. We want more Asian representation, and I know for me as a woman of color, that's something that I've been fighting for representation for us as people of color across the board, Asian and African American. So this platform, Style by Stevie, is so diverse because I welcome everybody from all walks of life.
I love your platform. I've seen a few of your episodes. The other thing I have been really enjoying working with is female directors. I don't know what it is. I just connect with them more at this point in my career. So I'm keen to work with more women in theater spaces and stuff like that, because I feel like for such a long time in America, those voices have been kind of oppressed and kind of crushed. So now I'm all about just building that community up. I will say a dream person for me to work with is Aquafina. She's incredible. I love her work. And she doesn't come from an acting background. She's a singer, songwriter, performer. But her acting work is so honest and so human and exciting and funny. And I just want to be around that type of energy. So she's a hero of mine. BD Wong is another Asian American hero of mine. So there's a lot of great talent out there that I would love to work with. So
absolutely, 100%, 100%, and that's that. Do you see yourself she's hilarious, Aquafina? Yes, she is, and for me being a fashion girl, she's very, very stylish. By the way, she's very, very, very stylish.
Yeah.
So she absolutely does her thing on the red carpet. So we ain't mad at you, girl. Okay. So what roles do you see yourself playing in the future? Do you want to do more comedy? Would you like to do more action? What genre can you relate to the most?
The genre that I've loved, and I've loved this since I was a child, is science fiction. Just to get to be lost in a different world that's not so far removed from our own, like set in the future. You can see a path for us as a society to get to that point. So it's realistic and fantasy at the same time. So sci-fi has always been something that's been close to my heart. I grew up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, like all good nerds did. So that's something. I am working on a project with my theater company, and I get to work with a lot of great artists. We're on like the third round of this global project, and we're inviting artists from all over the world to join us in this. It's 1 minute projects where people are creating videos or live performance of 1 minute of an artistic expression or idea. And so far I've been able to work with like 20 or 30 different artists from around the world, and it's been amazing. and everyone's bringing something different and something very personal to the project. So that my theater company's name is Tuta Theater, Tuta Theater in Chicago, and we're doing another presentation of the project next week. So check out the website. Come see what we're up to. So that's something that's we're doing. I just opened up a play here in Chicago. It's an adaptation of the Virginian, which is the archetype of the Western cowboy was created from a novel from the 1800s from this. And so this is the first staged adaptation of that character and of that world. And that's been really fun. I play a cowboy on stage in this play, and it's been just amazing. It's something that me as an Asian American actor never really had a chance to dream about, right? You know, growing up, I never got to see an Asian Western. When I was cast in this role, I did some digging in history books, and they existed like Asian cowboys. You know, they were there's not a lot of them, and so I had to dig deep, but they were there. And I also learned about African American and Black cowboys, which were probably 40 to 60% of cowboys were Black. You know, I didn't know that. And so our lead in this play is a Black actor, and it's just like, why didn't I ever learn about this in school? Well, because history is curated by a certain group of people, and now that I'm in the position to show a different version of history, like a version that existed but hasn't been shown to us, I'm in that position now, and it's just so fulfilling.
How does it feel to tell your story for people of color, for all of us? Because I've got asked that question, and I'm going to ask you the question as well too. How does it feel to be able to have the microphone to tell the story your way? Because like you just said, and I agree with you on that 100%. It's been told through a other type of lens.
Right.
It hasn't been told through our lens. So for you as a director, as an actor, how does it feel for you to be able to be that representation of a young boy or a young girl growing up and saying, okay, if he can do it, I can do it.
Honestly, I feel like it's the reason I am here. I feel like it's the reason I am here. 100%. Like, if I'm not doing that, I don't want to be doing it. You know, I don't have any aspirations really to be in the movies, like in a Marvel movie or something, unless there's a little Asian kid watching me and being like, yes, that's what I want. That's what I can be. I can be that too. I can be that too. That's what I'm looking for in my work, and like all the projects that I choose. It's I have to look for the one audience member that it's going to profoundly affect. You know, and so that's kind of what you have to do in choosing your projects, in the way that you perform, in the way that you approach the work. You think of that one person. It doesn't have to be, you know, hundreds of people that you reach or affect. Just pick one, and then do all of your work to that one person, and everything else will fall into place. You know, so you just have to. If you affect one person, then it's all the hard work and tears is worth it, in my mind.
It sure is. And 100% representation is key. We talk about that all the time here on my platform about, you know, representation and, you know, inspiring, impacting the next generation that are coming up, you know, that are of actors, that are of actresses who want to get into this entertainment biz, because it's difficult. There's a lot of obstacles that you have to climb over. I agree to the character has to be relevant to the story, not just one and done.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. And you know, the business is very, very hard. It's super hard. And I just have to remember that, I mean, the younger actors who approach me for advice, I just say, it's like any other type of job. You know, you learn your lines, you show up on time or early. Early is on time is late, in my mind. And you just do the work, and then forget about getting famous or getting the big money roles, because all of that is out of your control. So the only thing you can control is how you yourself as the artist do the work. And everyone's going to have a different style and method. So you train you take classes and you train, and then you take the things that you need for yourself as an artist, and then you apply it to your work. I don't subscribe to any single method of acting or any school of thought when it comes to this type of work. You take what you need from each thing, from each person that you learn from, and then you apply it to your work. And if you don't need it, get rid of it, because that's just noise. That's just into work that you don't want to be doing. And then just be kind. Be kind to other people. And then when you're tired of being kind, be more kind. You know, so that's how you just have to. I choose to walk through this world. I just hope everyone else is like that too. You know, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said this, I think last week on my show, I said, we got to lead with love. That's the way to do it. Lead with love.
Yeah.
And most importantly, leadership, perseverance, great
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. Yeah. Because all the other things are not in your control. Whether or not you get cast for a project, whether or not you're even seen for a project, you can't control that. All you have to do is be professional and be kind. And then when you are there and you are on set, worry about the work, worry about the script, worry about the story as a whole, not just you in that scene saying the words. It's like, how do you as the artist bring something new to that story? Why is that character important to that script? There's a lot of things that you can do to fill your brain and fill your heart, your artistic heart, outside of like the marketing and the legwork and all the auditioning that you have to do, because it's a lot. So I say, and you know, this industry, it's a marathon. You just gotta keep on moving forward. That's something my grandmother told me. Doesn't matter how fast you're going or where you're going, as long as you keep on moving forward. And so I always think of that. I always think of her, and I think of that idea that she gave me. So
I love what Tony just said. He said, it's like Bruce Lee said, absorb what's useful, reject what's useless, and make it your own.
That's exactly,
I'm gonna put that.
That's exactly right, Tony. And you know, when you do that with all the things, with your life experiences, with the places that you grew up in, with the classes that you take, and you take the things that you want and you need, and you artist in the entire world who has that skill set, who has that history to draw upon, who has that emotional depth to apply to roles. And so when you're the only one in the world who can do that, the casting directors will kick down your door to get at you. Because if you're going into an audition room and you look and sound and feel just like everybody else, why wouldn't they cast that other person? So this is the most powerful version of yourself, is unstoppable. This is what I tell people. So believe in yourself, do the work, and then people will find you. Producers will find you. Writers, directors, other actors who want to work with you. You become this like huge magnet for opportunity when you approach your life and your work that way.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. All right, before we get to the games, yes. Before we get to the games, my next question for you is, because you seem so positive, you seem so focused, and that's what we look for in this business. We have to stay focused, and like your grandmother said, we have to, you know, the business is tough, so we have to remain grounded, and more importantly, be able to stand up and speak up for when you know that something isn't right in this biz. And that's something that I'm very, very big on as well. Yeah. So my question for you is, who or what motivates you to keep going?
You know, that changes every day for me. Sometimes it's hard to even get out of bed. Sometimes I don't want to do the work, but then I think about my family. And I lost my brother a few years ago, my youngest brother. So I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and he was the youngest one. And he approached life in such a way that I could never do back then, in that previous version of me. I was very straight and narrow. I was working in finance. I went to business school, and I had a very particular track. Whereas my youngest brother, Andy, who was kind of open to new ideas and to new people, and that's the thing, he always was. He was kind. He was very kind. And I don't think I was I mean, I was nice, but I don't think I was kind in the way he was. And so when the world lost him, I'm like, that left a huge hole in my heart, but also in the world. The world needed more of that. So that's when I kind of like shifted where I was going with my life and try to be more like him. And so that's what drives me. I think of the memory of my brother, and I think about what he was to this world, and I try to do that and add, myself to it too. My version of that. So that's what keeps me going. Keeps me going. I think about that.
And he will be very proud looking down on you right now.
I
He lives through you. He lives through you.
Yeah, and I think about that, and I think about if I ever do get to see him someday. The way I live my life now, I would be proud to tell him about everything I did and give him all the stories about what happened and stuff like that. And it'd be more exciting, it'd just be more exciting to just sit there and just like, this is what I did. This is who I met. I got to do this thing, and that's what kind of moves me forward a little bit.
All right. Great memories. Exactly, Daniel. I lost my sister. So when he said that I lost my older brother, I can relate instantly on the soul connection because I lost my sister back in 2018. That was last year. So her memory lives through me.
Yeah.
And I try to tell my mom that I know it's difficult for my mom sometimes to even maneuver. She said, we was in the kitchen just the other day and she was cooking something and she said, God, I miss my baby. I miss your sister. My sister's name was Jessica.
Yeah.
And she said, God, I miss Jessica. I said, her memory lives through me. She's still here.
Yeah.
Because she would not want anybody to cry, feel sad. She wasn't that type of person. She was just happy-go-lucky and bubbly. And you guys see that. What you see on camera is what you're going to see off screen as well, too. I'm still the same bubbly, quirky, funny person, beautiful that you guys see right before you. And, that's what my sister would have wanted. But her legacy and everything lives through me, and I have bits and pieces of her. Like the day that she passed, after the day we had to go and clean her house out, and I have memories in my room of her here. Like I kept her she had a makeup case and I kept that, and she had this beautiful pillow that's in the shape of like a little rose. It's got like a little rose. It's red. I said, oh, this is so beautiful. So it's little bits and pieces here that remind me of her. And I also kept the obituary too. Like I had it sitting over my vanity where I do my makeup. But my mom came in my room one day. She said, take that down. You don't want the picture to fade. I said, oh, I never thought about that. I just wanted, her to be looking over me while I'm doing this because I know that she's watching down over me.
Yeah. And that's all part of the memory of my brother. It gets me up. But also, I think about that, like we were talking about before, that little audience member who never got to experience that feeling of seeing themselves on stage. So that's the other thing that drives me. It's those two things hand in hand, and I'm also just curious about the world. I'm curious about other people. I'm curious about the characters in a script, in a play. And if you let the curiosity kind of drive you, the acting and stuff, that's going to be really compelling. It's going to be as good as it can be. It makes it human and believable, and you get lost in it. So,
all right, fashion dolls, let's get out of here because I know y'all were like, well, why did y'all transition over here? Well, it's life. It happens. It's difficult losing a sibling. That especially if you were really close. Because I have two sisters. My other sister's in New York, and she's like an influencer. She does travel and she documents her vlogs and things. Me, I chose a different outlet. I chose fashion and entertainment. So it's like it runs in my family. My other sister, she wanted to work in healthcare and medicine as well. So yes.
I'm loving the comments. Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing them now. And then Tony J 2021-9. Dude, let's be friends, man. You're cool.
Yes, he's an actor as well too. So I've been coaching Tony. Tony's going to be coming on the show as well too. So he's an amazing personality. He's so funny. You'll like him.
Your audience is very cool.
Thank you. Yes, those are my fashion dolls. I love them to death. Um, love my sisters to life. God bless you both. Yes, it's difficult losing a sibling. Like that's a bitter pill that you have to swallow, especially when Christmas came around.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh man. It was difficult for me and my family because it's like I want to celebrate Christmas, but my sister, my sister's not here with me. And normally she would be here with me. We would be wrapping gifts together, but
Yeah.
it's
But then you think about what they would want.
yeah.
They would want you to celebrate. You know, they will want you to enjoy the time with the family. And so I also think about that too. So it's always a balance that you have to go through in your brain.
Tony said, I already friended you up, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I,
Tony and I are going to be working on something together coming up soon. I can feel it. I can feel it.
yes, definitely. Y'all network amongst yourself. And this is what I do on my platform. I connect people together that are in the biz, that are actors, actresses, singer, songwriter. So you never know who pops up in the audience in here.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of pop up, all right, fashion dolls, y'all know what time it is. It is time for the rapid five. And we has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without.
Oh,
And then in the next segment is going to get a little spicy.
oh man.
This is where Miss Stevie, she gets put in a hot seat. So he's going to ask me some questions. I don't know what he's going to ask me. It's uncensored and unfiltered. So we're going to start with the rapid five first. So what are 5 things that you can't live without?
Me, motorcycles, cameras. I'm a huge photography fan. Cats. I really like peanut butter, and 100% coffee. I need coffee almost all the time.
Get you up there in the mornings. I understand.
Yeah, and at night, and yeah, that's my favorite gift to receive. So if anyone wants to send bags of coffee my way, I will take it with open arms and an open heart.
Oh no, yes, Tony. I lost my dad, my stepfather, and sister in a 6 year span. So I feel you 100%.
Yeah,
Much love to you, Tony. That is difficult.
yeah.
That's difficult. Mm. All right, fashion dolls. Y'all know what time it is. My heart is beating fast. It is time to turn those tables. So now he gets to ask me questions, and I have no idea what he's gonna pull out of the hat and ask me. So we.
Okay. All right. One. What's a motto or credo that drives your life?
Um, my favorite motto, and it's sort of like a quote. Um, it's from Maya Angelou, and it goes like this: We encounter many defeats, but we must never be defeated. And I'm a Scorpio,
Yeah.
so my mom is a Libra, so we both of us being a Libra woman and a Scorpio woman, we thrive on passion and going for what is right. So I guess I've inherited that from my mom and my dad. You know, my dad is always vocal when it comes to things, and my mom, she's very nurturing, but she also has that vocal side to her too. So I'm thankful to have both of my parents, you know, to inherit the traits of our parents, because they say we are our parents' children, and they're just like, oh my God, you look just like them,
Yeah.
and your personality is so much like them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Who doesn't love Maya Angelou? My favorite book is I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, and
Mine's too.
her story is incredible. Okay. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I'm gonna go back because it's so many. That's a tough choice. I could say The Devil Wears Prada,
Mm.
but I'm gonna do an Audrey Hepburn. I love Funny Face.
Oh,
It's the one where she's becoming a model. They're grooming her to become a model. Ugh, that one right there. The fashions in that one is everything. So yeah.
it's a classic, and maybe some of your audience members have never seen it because it's an older movie, but now they'll go and check it out. If you could spend a weekend with any celebrity in the world and they would have to do anything you wanted, who would it be?
Uh, I would have to say Taraji P. Henson,
Oh,
because her energy is so similar to mine's.
yeah,
We
yeah.
both have that fun, bubbly, quirky personality. We love to laugh and have a good time. So I would say Taraji P. Henson.
Okay, excellent. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, building your platform and meeting and interviewing people, and what would your dream other life be?
I would love to design fashion. Like,
Hmm.
that's something that I've always wanted to do since I was younger.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of fashion magazines, so it would definitely be a fashion designer. or some working with flowers like a florist. I love designing and putting things together. Hey, K2, shout outs to K2's the K2 spot. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to my brother on YouTube. I had to throw that in there. But yeah, something in the realm of that, either fashion or floral design.
If you
So
if
I
you
go with floral.
grab any fashion designer from past and present to do you up, who would it be? Who do you want to dress you?
Ooh, I would have to say Manfred Terry Mugler.
Ooh,
I have a weird eye when it comes to fashion. Like I'm very versatile.
yeah.
So he has an obsession with insects. And he also has an obsession with outer space, galactic. So if you guys have seen some of his shows during the 90s, you would have seen the butterfly wings on the back of the gown. It was just beautiful. So I would have to say Manfred Terry Mugler.
Okay, I choose that person for you too. I think you two
Mm-hmm.
collaborate very well. Excellent. I think that's five, and I hope that your audience learned something new about you in answering those questions. That was really fun.
Yes, Fashion Dolls, do you have any more questions for myself or we? I have a question for we before we conclude this interview, and it is what's next for we in the future with your career? Because I see so much for you. You've mentioned doing stage plays, you mentioned your production company, Tuda.
Yeah.
So what is next for you in the future? What can people expect from you in the future?
Just more things, bigger things. I don't plan things anymore. Life is too nebulous and crazy and fast and beautiful that um, I just kind of choose to go with the flow and where my heart takes me. So I'm not planning. I'm not planning. I don't know. That's the only
And it's more to come. It happens so unexpectedly.
exactly because I think about my path 5 years ago until now. I couldn't have planned any of it. You know, it's just what my heart and my soul was drawn to, and I'm just like a happy person now because allowed myself to do that. Um, so for me personally, planning, I can plan out a day, I can plan out maybe a week, but planning out my life, I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore.
All right. All right, Fashion Dolls. Do we have any questions before we conclude this interview? Um, that's good. Planning has given me anxiety, and it is stressful. It is stressful because when the new year, even for me, when this new year came around, because I do a lot of vision boards, like I have 3 vision boards total here that I've created throughout the past few years in my room, and I collect them. And I said, for this vision board, I said, what do I want to do? What do I want to work on more? And oh, we got a question from Daniel, and I'll get back to that point so I can rotate. Okay.
Yes,
Daniel wants to know, who would you like to work with? Who would you like to act with?
uh, Aquafina, uh, Denzel Washington, just because I love his work, and I can't wait to see his new version of Macbeth that's out in the theaters right now. Um, I love them, and I want to work with Tony J, 2021 69. I want to work with Tony. Tony seems rad. So
He is very funny.
yeah,
All right, Fashion Knows. Yeah, I was saying that when it came to planning for vision boards and things like that, you have to figure out what you're gonna do. So I agree with V Brown, singer on that, because it is difficult planning for what you're gonna do for the new year, like what resolutions that you wanna get right into or jump right into. And for me, I had to think about all of these things. Like, you have to write things down. Like I love to write. That's another thing people already know about me, is
yeah.
that I like to write. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to make the distinction between planning and vision boards and manifesting, because I think those are two different things. If you manifesting and vision boards, those are where you open up your heart and allow those things to come to you. Whereas planning is where you try to push an agenda. And the nature of the world right now is like it's kind of hard to do that. But if you open your heart to things that you want to come into your life, that you pray for and you think about and you manifest, I think that's a totally cool thing to do for sure. So
Absolutely. Any more questions for myself or we, Fashion Dolls, before we wrap up this interview? I'm going to let we close it. Is there any final thoughts that you would like to give to people who are looking to get into this industry of acting or producing behind the scenes as well?
um I think you just have to love the work and ignore the noise. Love the work and ignore the noise. Those are the two things that you can do, and you'll just be happy. Whether it's a community theater play or a big Disney role, you know, it's just if you ignore the noise and just love the work, then you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I agree with that 100% because sometimes we get so distracted. I know for me, you know, I developed writer's block and I became sidetracked on certain things. And I'm just like, okay, gotta stay focused. So,
Yeah. Cool. That's it.
excellent
I had these
advice.
stories that I wanted to tell you about these big movie stars that I hung out with, but we can do that next time. We can do that next time.
Definitely. I would love to have you back in the future.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've had an opportunity to work with Bob Odenkirk and Lawrence Fishburne, and they're amazing. They're amazing. But we'll save that for next time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here for all of these gems. I know, right, V Brown Actor? Make sure you guys let everyone know where they can follow you at because the audience is already falling in love with you.
Oh, good. I'm on Instagram at huiwin.official. Check out my theater company, Tuta Theater in Chicago, TUTA Theater. And then, I don't know, I'll be out in the universe. Say hi.
All right, fashion dolls, there you go. To the theater. Make sure you guys go and check it out. Follow it right here on Instagram. Follow we on Instagram. And thank you so much. It was such an amazing time with you. I told you we were going to have some fun.
Yeah, it was incredible. Thank you for having me, Stevie.
You are so welcome, and I'd love to have you back on again. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we got JB Piranez, and Marco's going to be back. We're going to cover some topics, and I'll speak with you shortly, and thank you so much for coming. We had such a good time with you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. You too.